Alright, so we're going to do some stitch in the ditch, and then we're going to do this sashing here. And I thought long and hard about this sashing, and I thought that it would be best just to kind of go with the design that was in it with an invisible thread. So the thread I use is the Aurifil Monopoly. So let's talk about our ditch work. So the seams are pressed this to this side, so we're going to be stitching on our background fabric here. So when I do this, I do like to start down in a corner, and actually I'm going to take care of this right here. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. So I have my settings for my Bernina. I'm going to just secure those threads. So I have my settings at 10 stitches per inch, and I like to be in BSR number 1, and I'm at about 250 for those RPMs. And so we're just going to go. Now I like to hold my ruler on the high side of the ditch. So this part here, it's pressed this way. So this is the low side, and I like to hold on the high side. This way I have less chance of actually hopping up onto the high side of that ditch, which you tend to notice a little bit more than if you wobble off into the low side. And as you can see, ditch work is nice and slow. I'm using my Quilter's Groove Pro Mini ruler, which is my favorite for stitch in the ditch because it just kind of fits right nicely in my hand. And the high side of my ditch is back here, so I'm going to hold my ruler behind and just come across. And I love Aurifil's thread. It just kind of disappears right there into the ditch. You'll notice I don't use the whole length of the ruler, and that's because once I get down to this side of the ruler, since I'm holding here, I don't have as much control. So I like to kind of stay close to where my fingers are so that the ruler doesn't slip and move. Let's get that little thread there. Is a customer's quilt. So now I'm coming down this way. Now the ditch is on the opposite side, so I'm going to hold my ruler on this side and then just work my way down. Since my full hand is on the ruler, I tend to use a little bit more of the ruler when going in this direction. And then we're going to go across this way. If you've taken a class with me, you'll know I say if your fingertips are turning white, then you're putting too much pressure on your ruler. So you want to lighten up that grip just a little bit. Now I'm going to take care of this sashing, so I am literally just going to follow the design in the sashing, just this little wiggle design, just enough to give it some definition and hold that sashing down in place. I think that any other design for me would have fought with the actual fabric, so that's something that you want to think about when you're deciding what to quilt. is your design that you're thinking about putting in there going to actually enhance it, or is it going to fight with the fabric? So just all things that you kind of want to consider. Back tack a little bit, and there I have it. So when I'm doing custom quilting, I do think that most of the blocks deserve to be stitched in the ditch. It gives it a nice, cleaner, crisper look. And now you can kind of see how that looks a little bit better.